we live?
We are live, sir, yes.
Are we? You sure? Are we on your phone?
Am I sure, Wilson?
We're just checking. We're checking. We might be live. I'm looking at the
We are
camera.
live.
We are live?
We are
Okay.
live.
Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to Fridays with Fuentes. Is he here yet? Are you not?
No.
No. Wait. He's not here yet.
He's not here yet.
We're going to introduce you to somebody new during this show, and we'll bring him in momentarily. But anyway, I'm Adrian Fuentes. I'm the Arizona Secretary of State. We're still figuring this show out. We're a couple episodes in, and we're actually trying to figure out a way to do intro music during the countdown to the beginning of the show. I was recently on a podcast with, or one of these things with Adam Kinzinger. It's like his bipartisan country first thing, and they have this music at the beginning that sounds like someone told an AI generator to do something a little bit country and a little bit rock and roll, and it was a lot of it terrible music. So I promise you we'll have good music if we do something. But in the meantime, want to get right to the topics. First of all, early voting. So a lot of folks have been voting early. There's a question on it that we'll get to. But make sure you vote early. We started early voting in Arizona on October the 9th. That's the day that I went to vote in person, even though I'm a ballot by mail voter. I got rid of that ballot and that envelope. But I still voted early. It'll go through November the 1st. So make sure you vote early, folks. It's important, especially with the long ballot that we have. It might get a little cloggy on election day because there are, especially in Maricopa County, there are 78 elections on the average ballot. It's 2 physical pages and double-sided. So try to vote early if you can. Today is the last day to request your ballot. What are you doing? You're scaring me.
Turn your mic up. I'm sorry.
Is my mic
We
not
got a
loud
comment
enough?
that said it was a little too low. So.
Okay, that's much better. There's
Yep.
a lot more blue lights on there now.
Yes.
Woof. Is this better? Somebody has probably got their headphones on right now and they're like, now it's too loud because I had adjusted. Sorry, we're figuring it out still, folks.
Yeah.
Anyway, today's the last day to request a ballot by mail. Check with that person online, see if it's better now. So it's October the 25th, last day to order your ballot by mail for the November 5th election. Make sure if you want your ballot sent to you in the mail, you do it by the end of the day today. Otherwise, get your ballots back as quickly as possible. Put them in the mail, send them back. We've got our voter registration numbers. A lot of processing of those, so that's why the number was a little bit delayed because there were so many new voter registrations across all of our counties. In fact, some counties had to hire some temporary folks to come and help hand process because every new form has to be hand processed in if you don't do it through servicearizona.com. And as we know, in Arizona, there are more Republicans registered at 1,562,091. They make up 35.77% of the electorate. That's the number one party in Arizona. The number 2 party is no party at all, and that is non-party designated voters at 33.69% of the vote. And in third place, the Democratic Party at an even 29% of the vote. So 35.7 for Republicans, 33.69 for independents or no party designated, and 29%. There's a bunch of libertarians, no labels, and Greens as well in there for a total registered voters in Arizona. If you're going to write this number down so you can check percentages later. 4,367,593 registered voters in Arizona for the 2024 election. I'll repeat that number, 4,367,593. Again, vote early, folks. We've got more than 1 million ballots that have already been cast so far in early voting here in Arizona. We're super happy about that. Okay, let's get to the book recommendation for the week before we go to our questions. The book recommendation is called Empowered, Latinos Transforming Arizona Politics. This is by Lisa Magana and Cesar Silva, and I have selected this book for this week because Lisa Magana co-teaches a class with me at Arizona State. I am actually her co-teacher. I show up once in a while and talk about politics and power from the Latino perspective. We talk about stuff from all kinds of perspectives in the class with a lot of folks from different political spaces who come in talking with the undergrads about a lot of these things. It's a pretty good read. It's academic. It's a little wonky, but I like it. University of Arizona Press, 2001. It's called Empowered, Latinos Transforming Arizona Politics. Again, Professor Lisa Magana from Arizona State and Cesar Silva, her co-author. So shout out to the profe. She's pretty awesome. So there's your book recommendation for the week. Let's get to our special guest today. Drum roll. Yeah, there's so many people in here. Bam! Check him out. It's the Ballot Bot. Hope you like him. He's in nascent stages right now. A lot of people love Phil the Ballot down in Maricopa. He came to be during my administration as a county recorder. The Ballot Bot here is now available for you, and you can ask questions of the Ballot Bot on our website over at arizona.vote. It's a chat bot basically, but he's kind of still limited in functionality. He's new, he's pretty good looking, he's got his headphones on and the microphone, so you can chat with him, but he actually doesn't talk, so I don't know what the microphone is for, but he listens. He's a good listener. So chat with the Ballot Bot. He's actually a chat bot, but we're calling him the Ballot Bot right now because he doesn't have a name, unlike Phil the Ballot down at Maricopa County, who's got this really amazing personality. It's just a really nice guy. The Ballot Bot here at the Secretary of State's office he's just coming to be. So, help us form him up. Let's see where he goes. All right, enough of that silliness. Let's get to the questions. So question number one, got two questions. Question number one came to us, says, hey, at AZ Secretary, why will it take almost 2 weeks to count ballots? And it was asked by a concerned Arizona citizen. Well, it's always taken almost 2 weeks for Arizona to count ballots. This is a phenomenon where, in a lot of ways, the tail has started wagging the dog over the last few cycles. When we had politicians and one political party really dominating this state, and I speak to, late Senator John McCain, may he rest in peace, he used to win by 20 points. And everybody could call the big races in Arizona pretty quickly. Well, when the margins were really big and the prognosticators could say on election night, here's who the winner is, we all kind of knew. But it still took us almost 2 weeks to count the ballots, 10 to 13 days. As Arizona's voting population exploded and our systems got better, it has still kind of taken about those 10 to 13 days to get official numbers. But because the political margins are tighter and tighter, the prognosticators in the media, they can't make that media call as quickly as they used to be able to. So it seems like it's taking longer to count the ballots, but it's actually not taking longer to count the ballots. In fact, it's a lot quicker now, given the number of ballots that we have. But let me ask you this question. If you're holding on to your ballot by mail, then you are contributing to the later results. I mean, it's just a function of the fact that we have to send those ballots through the exact same hand process. They've got to be signature verified, and they've got to be sorted between the envelope and the ballot by our bipartisan teams down at the counties. Then they end up going to tabulation. This process takes time. So the more ballots that we get late or turned in on election day, the longer it takes to get our results. So be part of the solution if this is a problem. I don't think it's a problem. We get good results in Arizona. But if you think it's a problem, be part of the solution. Vote early. That's the answer. And so we will have official results 10 to 13 days after Election Day. They're always accurate. They're always good. And so I'm really excited about this year and seeing official results. Again, the media will make their call on election night or the day after. That's fine, but that's not official numbers. Sometimes those shift a little bit. Let's get to question number 2 before we wrap up for the day. Why does it seem that early voting is slow this election cycle? Usually up to 75% of Arizona residents vote by mail, but this year the numbers are meager at best. Is it that verification and counting are slow? Well, number one, about 75% to 85%, even more, vote by early voting. That's true, but early voting goes on until November 1st. We're only on the 25th, so we got at least a week more. And the numbers increase dramatically as we get closer to Election Day. So that number that you're talking about, 75%, it's in the ballpark, but it's actually going to be a little bit higher, and we won't know that until after Election Day when we see the actual early voting numbers. And we're still well over a week out through regular early voting, right? And so right now we're still bringing in those numbers. So is it slower? Not really when you actually look at it day to day in early voting. Now, some folks have said it seems like it's taken a little longer to get ballots out, particularly in Maricopa County. That's true. And if you want to blame someone, blame our friends at the Arizona legislature. They put so much stuff on your ballot that Maricopa County had to send you a whole packet inside of that envelope so you could read through it. And what they didn't think about was the fact that the fatter that envelope gets, the less it's treated like an envelope by the post office and more like a package. And you know who they had to go all the way up to? The Postmaster General, so that you taxpayers didn't have to pay a few $1 million more just to send this thing out. And you know that big publicity pamphlet that we send out from this office? It cost us well over $1 million more because the legislature decided to play shenanigans and throw a whole bunch of extra stuff onto the ballot. Now, is that a political statement? No. It just cost more money. They can do what they want. They're an independent branch of government. But when they don't think about the added expense and the added taxpayer dollars that go out there, just because they can't work things out with the executive branch of government, this is where we end up. So the added huge costs that we have really have a lot more to do with politics than with good policy, because some folks don't think about all of the circumstances that happen and all of the things that are affected downstream when they're acting, let's just be kind and say petulantly. So moving forward, maybe the legislature ought to stop putting so much stuff onto our ballots and do their own jobs instead of making us do the work for them. Anyway, that's Fridays with Fontes for this week. Hope everybody is... Oh, wait a minute.
We do have a couple online.
Oh, a couple online questions. Yay.
Are mail-in ballots run through the tabulators as soon as they have been verified? Some states cannot tabulate mail-ins until the day of election.
Yeah, that's a great question. I hope everybody heard it. Are mail-in ballots tabulated ahead of time, or are they wait until the day of? We are lucky in Arizona. We've got laws on the books that let us tabulate almost immediately. There used to be a 2 weeks prior to Election Day limit. Now they can start tabulating once they've verified signatures and got those ballots moving through the system. And I want to repeat, this is how it works. The county recorder, who's in charge of early voting, will do the signature verification on the envelope, and then we'll separate the envelope and the ballot. That way, the voters get their anonymity maintained. The ballots are then transferred over to tabulation, which usually falls under the power of the County Board of Supervisors and the Election Department. They're separate activities. So that ballot gets moved over. Sometimes they're right in the same facility, right down the hall, but it gets transferred from one part of the government to the other to maintain that anonymity. We've been tabulating ballots in Arizona for quite some time now, and we'll see those first results at 8 p.m. on November the 5th. 8 p.m. November the 5th, give or take a minute or two, you'll see those first results. Now, you said, is there another one?
There is another one.
Goodness
Can
gracious.
you vote early in person or just on November 5th?
No, you can vote early in person for 27 days before Election Day. I voted on October the 9th. The first day early voting was available. In all of the counties have some maps on their websites. You can go to arizona.vote and find your way over to whatever county in Arizona you are in. Find out where you can vote. And if you want to vote early, that's great. Now, if you got your ballot by mail and you want to just turn it in, remember, you don't have to wait in line. Your ballot by mail with your signature, phone number, just in case they need to verify something, and date, you just walk right up to the drop box at the polling place, at the vote center in early voting, drop it in there, and get on with your business. That's a really efficient way to get it to the elections officials directly at any of those polling places. But yes, if you want to vote in person and fill out that ballot right there at the polling place, make sure you got the proper ID, because you still have to bring that ID to vote early in person as you would on Election Day. But it's certainly available. And is that for today?
Yep.
Awesome. Everybody, is he still here?
He's not.
He's not? Did you?
I'll bring it back.
You want to bring him back?
There you go.
All right, the ballot bot, ladies and gentlemen, in all of his glory. I hope I'm pointing him out appropriately because he's not actually here. Anyway, I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Stay safe, be responsible, and make sure you watch kids around water. Are they still swimming?